Now on YouTube. I thought I'd show you my latest project really today. So I'm going to be getting it off the ground now that winter's here. It's not doing it any good being on the ground on the wet land. So I was hoping to be able to use the Unimog, but I don't know if you can hear when I'm walking. It's pretty wet underfoot, so I don't want to ruin the field. So we're just going to use the engine crane and hoist it onto these axle stands. I call this one the Red Bear project, number one because it's red and the communist era that it was built in, and then also the bear is because of obviously the Russian bear, so I just call it the Red Bear project. And we're going to get on axle stands and drill some holes in the floor. You see, it's just holding water in there. I drilled a hole in this back quarter the other day, and that caused that. When operating the drill, it just smacked straight down onto that step there, so I wasn't very happy then. But this is going to be turned into a Lada Niva. This, it's not going to have any back windows or anything like that. It's going to have a full FIA spec roll cage that I'm going to make for it, and the roll cage is going to incorporate bulkhead, and then no back windows, no back door, and it's going to have 33s on it, but without suspension lift. I don't like suspension lifts, so I like to keep them low to the ground, keep that centre of gravity down. So I'm just going to do an arch cut like my other Lada has. But my other Lada can only fit 31s at the moment. But because I've got this one where it's an empty shell, I can actually do the arches in a manner that will allow me to fit 33s. It takes a lot of work, but it can be done. And then I think I'm gonna stick with a standard Lada 1.7, but I might bore it out to a 2 litre and then put some kind of forced induction on it. Hopefully get I'm aiming for 200 horses. That'd be nice, but that's a long way off in the future, that is, as of yet. It's all on there, and then yeah, I'm gonna be sorting some doors and bonnet for it and whatnot. It's probably gonna have a rear diff lock, and probably an LSD in the front diff. I don't like diff locks on the front axle because obviously it's got all the CV joints and whatnot. It's just putting strain through those, and that's another reason why I don't like suspension lifts, is because of the strain on the CV joints, especially when you start putting that kind of power through. It is just pushing the drivetrain really. And I'll probably put a 4-speed box in as well for strength, and just run slightly higher ratio diffs, and then I'll put a crawler kit in the transfer box, and that'll keep it nice, and it'll keep the gearbox strong. Get rid of that 5th gear problem that we have in the 5-speed boxes, but still have the plenty of power and the low ratio for crawling. All right, so I'll crack on and see where we get to.
hoping that'll be. I haven't got that to its highest extent on these front axle stands because the back of the chassis on these are slightly higher than the front. So when I put the back up, I'll lift it higher than the front to make it level. This is only temporary, just until the land dries out, and then we're going to get the mog in and completely move this so it's all a bit tidier. I just don't want it getting sitting on the damp ground through winter. So, right, we'll do the back. Ta-da!
That's it off the ground now. I've just got to drill some holes in these footwells now, and anywhere else that's holding water. This shell is actually, for its age especially, is actually really solid. And a bit of rocks at that front corner where the sill is, so I've just got to replace that floor pan, and I was going to chop the sills out anyway and put some of my custom sills on, just for strength, and the lighter as well. Well, not lighter, but yeah, they're stronger and about the same weight. And then start dreaming really, and eventually get on with it. So like I say, this is it's not going to have any back windows, no back windows, no back door. I think obviously at the moment these are all pipe dreams, but I think I'm going to actually have the radiator against that window there with some louvers forcing air through it, and then the hot air goes out the back. Rear loop's going to go just where these pockets are in front of the arches, and then around, and that's going to incorporate a bulkhead, and there's going to be some clear sheet here for the back window so I can see out of this corner for my blind spots, because the mirrors I'm going to put on it are actually quite small, stop them getting smashed off or reduce the chances. And then that just leaves the intercooler at the front then, so when you go rallying, if you hit a wading point or a lot of mud, it's easy to wash both the radiator and the intercooler out, because the trouble is if you have the intercooler right in front of the radiator, you can't wash the radiator out very easily. So that's the point of that really. And then obviously the bulkhead's there, spare wheels got to be mounted to the braces going backwards, and then somewhere I would suspect either just behind the intercooler or right at the back with the wire going forward, I'm going to put the winch. And then it's all going to have the front loops. I'm going to do the style where it's 2 bars and then just a cross brace across the front, following the radius of the windscreen. For front windows, I'm going to go with I've forgotten the name of it. It's like Perspex, but it doesn't scratch and it doesn't fade as easily. And I'm going to see if I can actually mould a front windscreen out of it as well, and then laminate it, because I prefer the idea of not having glass for the front windscreen, even if it is laminated glass. I like that idea a bit more. And then yeah, just got to drill these holes now. It's also going to have it's going to be dimple dyed everywhere. I'm gonna put pressings in everything. Try and make it as light as possible. Cut these off. These are just for the armrests for the back seats, so they're all going to get cut off. Yeah, make everything as light as possible. Get rid of this. I'm going to make a foam lined tank for it as well. So yeah, the whole shebang really. It's going to be a pretty much a case of almost no expense spared on this project. Just my personal budget is what's going to limit it really. And then I don't know how long it's going to take, but yeah. Alright, I'll get a drill and drill these holes. basically, these are just temporary. I'll probably plug these and re-drill them somewhere proper eventually with something like a 1-inch hole or something like that, and then press it so it's got some strength to it. And that'll just, when I go wading, water will come in, but it'll flood out pretty quick as well. And obviously I can also open the doors. It's not going to be a comfort mobile. It's going to be for a purpose. So it's going to have like bucket seats, 5-point harness, the whole lot. My intention really is to do stuff like the Breslau Rally in it. Maybe like King of England's probably a bit too far, really. You know, you're talking like they're putting big diffs and big axles underneath theirs, so it's a bit. Yeah, this is more of a cross country sort of thing rather than extreme like that. But then if I start making plenty of money one day, maybe actually go into Russia and do some of theirs, Lagoda Trophy or something like that. I'd quite like to do something like that, but that's a lot about budget, that is. But we can dream, right? And that's pretty much it for this project for today. I think I'll probably start stripping some weight out of it fairly set sharp, like take these back windows out. This sunroof, I think I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to replace it with a custom made panel, steel panel, as a bit of an emergency escape. So if you're trapped in it, you can still get out. Be quite good for it as well for if it ever conks out in deep water, you just climb out of the roof. But we'll get there. We'll see. Like I say, it's all going to be. I'm going to build it all to FIA, so it's going to be fairly strong, like all braced and everything. But keep it light as well. That's the main thing. I want it as light as possible. I mean, that's what the Niva is infamous for, really. Is its weight. That's why it's so good off road. It's because it's so light. It's only 1,240 kilos from the factory. So if we can get it a bit lighter than that, we shall see. With the interior stripped out and the roll cage, I reckon it'll weigh about the same as factory, roughly. We'll see how good my guess is. Right, thanks for watching, and until next time.